Today's show is sponsored by the Electric Vehicle Association. Join up to support the electrification of transport today. And by CCAN Action Fund's Electric Vehicle Raffle for the Planet. Buy your ticket today to support their mission to fight for a cleaner air and a healthier environment and get 3 chances to win a brand new EV with every ticket. And by Energy Sage. Plan your own energy independence and insulate yourself from rising energy costs. And by you. Stick around to find out how to keep us 100% independent. Welcome back to another episode of TEN Transport Evolved News. Thanks for joining me. I hope you're safe, well, and with someone you care about who cares for you. I know the broader news headlines this week have been, well, rough at times, so here's hoping the next 30 minutes help us feel a little safer, a little more like we're part of something. Like last week, we're starting today's show with a little roundup of new Q2 and H1 figures from around the world, and there's a lot to unpack. The Volkswagen Group published figures this week for the first half of the year, showing that demand for EVs across its brand lineup fell by 68.8% year-over-year in the US and 47.9% in China, only rising in Europe by 8.4%. In its associated press release, it says its order books for EVs in Europe rose by 50% compared to year-end 2025, so it's not all bad news. In the US, it enjoyed a resurgence in demand for ID. Buzz, just as its ID.4 goes on model year hiatus. New data from Cox Automotive shows that EV sales in the US during Q2 were the strongest they've been since President Trump cancelled the federal tax incentive for EVs as the ongoing war in Iran hammers gas prices. BMW reported H1 EV declines overall globally year-over-year, but Q2 showed 5.2% growth, driven by Neue Klasse launches in Europe, something it says it hopes to see continue as interest in its new models remains high. And there's hope on the horizon. Chinese companies set a new export record of more than 500,000 plug-in vehicles during June, and global EV sales yet again hit 2 million. A figure not seen since late last year. It's been teased for several months, and this week, Volkswagen officially took the covers off its all-new ID. Cross electric crossover. A compact SUV built on the MEB Plus platform, the ID. Cross is designed for the highly competitive compact car market. Standard tech includes connected travel assist, V2G capability, and plug and charge, while the cabin mirrors the ID. Polo's layout and design language. The ID. Cross offers 3 drivetrain options, 85 kilowatts, 99 kilowatts and 155 kilowatts, paired with 37 kilowatt-hour or 52 kilowatt-hour battery packs. The smaller battery pack option has DC charging support at up to 90 kilowatts, while the largest charges at 105 kilowatts. All models come standard with an 11 kilowatt bidirectional AC onboard charger. Not all pricing has been released, but in Germany the ID. Cross will start from just under €28,000. Mercedes-Benz unveiled its new AMG CLA 45 4MATIC Plus this week. The most powerful all-electric CLA to date, the mid-size sedan promises some pretty bonkers performance. How bonkers? According to official specs, it does the stoplight sprint in under 2.7 seconds thanks to a triple motor setup delivering a peak power output of 500 kilowatts. That's significantly more than the entry-level non-AMG CLA, but this model isn't just about fast sprint times. It's also pretty efficient too, thanks to the same axial flux motors debuted in the Mercedes-AMG GT 4-door coupe. When matched with the 94 kilowatt-hour 800-volt battery pack, which can charge from 10% to 80% in 22 minutes at a peak power rate of 330 kilowatts, the AMG CLA 45 4MATIC Plus claims a WLTP range of 670 kilometres, 416 miles for the sedan, and 640 kilometres, 397 miles for the shooting brake. Pricing has yet to be released, but expect this one to be pretty pricey. We love covering new personal electric transport on this channel, but if we want to kick fossil fuels to the curb, we need to transition public transit fleets to electric too. In the last few years, we've seen a real growth in the number of public bus fleets switching to electric, either by purchasing new or converting old buses to electric. The latter is a term called repowering. Many fleet operators have ignored it, but this week a new analysis from the Swiss Federal Laboratories for Materials Science and Technology, aka EMPA, showed that opting for repowered buses over new electric ones could accelerate Europe's transition to electric by 15 years. At the heart of the analysis is the cost benefit of using existing fleet rolling stock with aftermarket conversion kits, lowering capital expenditure overall without slowing the electrification process. I'll link to the study down below. As some world governments, often backed by the auto industry, throw up roadblocks to a future where the sales of new internal combustion engine vehicles are banned, we're starting to see more and more places announce and enact bans. This week, China's Hainan province became the first to implement a complete ban on new petrol-powered vehicles with a confirmed enactment date of 2030. The island province's geography, located off the southern coast of China's mainland, makes it an ideal candidate for a full electric transition, as it will not only mean electrical generation can happen locally, but remove the need for shipping fossil fuels in from the mainland. Under the ban set for 2030, which focuses on privately owned vehicles, new plug-in hybrids and range-extended EVs will be allowed to be sold. The province also plans to promote EV and hydrogen adoption for heavy-duty transport, cold chain logistics, and public transit. Last year, Europe enacted import tariffs on Chinese EVs to protect European automakers from what it deemed anti-competitive subsidies. But as Transport and the Environment shows in its latest analysis published this week, automakers have pivoted, shifting from importing fully assembled vehicles to importing batteries from China and assembling cars locally, allowing both European and Chinese brands to dodge most tariffs. Meanwhile, T&E warns that as European automakers pressure lawmakers to ease CO2 targets, European brands are slowing their EV efforts while Chinese brands accelerate theirs. In short, even with EU protection, Western automakers can't compete against more compelling Chinese models that are backed by deeper pockets for local European production. The stock market reacted so violently to unsubstantiated rumours about the future of Lucid this week that it triggered an automatic stock market protection mechanism to temporarily halt trading twice. It began when a website posted a report alleging that restructuring firm AlixPartners, a company that Lucid is legitimately working with on corporate restructuring, had advised the Lucid board to consider strategic options including a take-private deal or Chapter 11 filing. With minimal sourcing and no market due diligence, traders panicked and the stock crashed over 50% intraday, triggering multiple volatility halts. Lucid quickly rebutted, stating AlixPartners had not recommended bankruptcy and is solely helping improve operational efficiency. The company has no special board committee exploring buyouts or restructuring, and most recent filings confirm sufficient liquidity to operate well into 2027. In normal times, these reports would attract federal scrutiny, but it's not clear what, if anything, will happen now. Despite earning some of the best sales figures during Q2 in the US for EVs, Toyota has officially delayed its production plans for the 2027 Toyota Highlander SUV. Its first all-electric three-row SUV, it was revealed in February and offers seating for up to 7 in a 232 configuration or 6 in a 222 configuration. But as Cars.com reported this week, the model's official production debut is being pushed into 2027 due to additional adjustments to the vehicle prior to launch. Meanwhile, the current ICE and hybrid Highlander variants will continue production through until December this year. The delay impacts not just Toyota, but also the Lexus TZ and the Subaru Getaway, which are essentially rebadged Highlander EVs with specific tweaks for their respective marks. But such is the trend right now. As we were going to film this, we heard that the Honda Prologue has been cancelled in the US too. Yes, it's too late to include it in this week's show as a dedicated item, but I wanted to acknowledge it's happened. We'll cover it more next week. As demand for power grows around the world, driven by a surge in data centre and AI, electricity grids are suffering after decades of underinvestment. In the US, that's particularly apparent as the current president tries to avoid spending money earmarked by his predecessor for grid upgrades while simultaneously propping up unreliable and ageing electricity generators and infrastructure. And new data, as collated by SolarTech SD on Reddit this week, shows so far this year, every US state has suffered a major power outage every month, with about 70% of those outages triggered by severe weather and 20% caused by aging infrastructure. The solution to this, aside from actually investing in the infrastructure, is for citizens and businesses to invest in microgeneration, redundant grid-tied battery systems, and of course, vehicle-to-grid. Here at the studio, I've experienced 2 small power cuts just this week, due to weather from El Niño expected to deepen into the dog days of summer. This will get worse. Prepare now and make sure you've got additional resiliency to keep things running. And to finish this segment, some depressing data from the US, as if that previous story wasn't bad enough. It's no secret that the Trump administration has worked hard to discourage and defund renewable energy and clean transportation since early last year. Now, a report by non-partisan business group E2 shows the cost. Since January 2025, 216 large-scale clean energy projects have been cancelled, closed or downsized. The damage is staggering. $90.8 billion in lost GDP during construction alone, $55 billion annually in foregone economic growth, $68.2 billion in cancelled private investment, and $48.4 billion in lost annual operational spending. Construction wages of $53 billion and permanent jobs worth $31 billion have also vanished, along with anticipated tax revenues vanishing, nearly $20 billion during construction, and $12 billion a year annually. Add it all up, and we have nearly 470,000 lost jobs and a renewable economy that's left scarred. It's going to take a very long time to reverse this poorly made decision process at the federal level, and it will put the US behind on renewables for a generation or more. Our recall reminders are coming next, but first I need to tell you about the EV Raffle for the Planet fundraiser from our non-profit friends at CCAN Action Fund, which is now just 2 weeks away from its July 30th prize draw. If you haven't yet picked up your ticket for your chance to win one of 3 EV prizes, now's the time to do it. Raffles like these are always popular, but the good news is that there are still thousands of tickets left for you to grab. Fewer tickets in the draw means your odds of winning are that much better, and with 3 EV prizes, those odds are pretty great. First prize builds their own Rivian, Lucid or Porsche EV of up to $115,000 in value. Second prize picks between the highly anticipated Rivian R2, the cool Volkswagen ID Buzz van, or from the top-rated Hyundai IONIQ lineup. And third prize gets the revamped Chevy Bolt. Tickets are just $200 and each one gets you 3 chances to win an EV. Remember, this is a raffle fundraiser where every ticket sold goes towards funding CCAN Action Fund's work to pass clean energy legislation nationwide and their efforts to shift the costs of intensifying climate disasters like floods, heat waves and wildfires off of everyday people like you and me and onto the fossil fuel companies that largely caused the climate crisis. Get your tickets right now before time runs out. Head to www.evraffle.org, check the show notes, or point your smart device at the on-screen QR code right here to get your chance to win a brand new EV and support a non-profit before it's too late. Good luck. And now it's time for our recall reminders. As usual, you'll find links to all the recalls in our show notes. Thomas Built Buses has recalled some of its safety liner school buses, including electric ones, to address an issue with the entrance door on affected buses. Fleets will be notified. BMW has recalled multiple models, including electric ones, to address a potential failure with affected cars' integrated brake systems. 428 vehicles are affected by the recall. Nissan is recalling some 2026 model year LEAFs in the US to address an issue with the rear seat belts that could fail to properly secure a child seat. Dealers will replace affected belts free of charge. 8 Kia EV6 and EV9 models are being recalled after a manufacturing defect was noted in the battery packs of affected cars. Owners are being instructed to park outside due to the fire risk. In an identical recall, just 6 Hyundai IONIQ 5 models are being recalled due to the very same battery cell manufacturing defect. Owners should be getting letters about the recall by the end of August. And finishing off the recalls, BMW is recalling 30,000 of its plug-in hybrids in the US and asking owners to park outside. But it's not the battery system at fault. It's an electrical fault with the engine wiring system. And those were your recall reminders. Now it's time for our news shorts. As usual, you'll find full links on our website at transportevolved.com. XPeng has officially launched its L03 at a special event in Munich. Due to go on sale in more than 60 markets simultaneously, it will be offered in fully electric and range-extended electric guises. The UK government has confirmed that as of 2028, EV owners in the country will have to pay a tax based on how far they drive. EVs will have to pay 3 pence per mile driven and plug-in hybrid owners 1.5 pence per mile. Alpine showcased its A110 Future at the Goodwood Festival of Speed last week. It's a precursor to the production all-electric third-generation A110 due to debut next year. Reporting from multiple outlets in Europe suggests the board at Volkswagen AG are in conflict over the company's future direction. This could impact the future of the brand's EV models. Cupra has unveiled its most affordable version of the Raval EV yet, the Cupra Raval Plus. It uses a 99-kilowatt motor and a smaller 37-kilowatt-hour LFP battery pack. It starts from €29,000. SK On has officially begun mass production of EV batteries in the US at the Hyundai Motor Group Metaplant facility in Bartow County, Georgia. The facility is jointly owned between the firms. Generational has signed a new partnership with Maverick Diagnostics in the UK to bring its advanced battery testing algorithm to more UK automotive workshops and repair centres. The Port of Los Angeles in California has officially opened its RFP process for a new $75 million zero-emission truck purchasing incentive project. Proposals are due by December 3rd. The state of New Jersey is currently considering a new law that would require driverless robotaxi services to operate with cameras plus 2 additional types of onboard sensor, therefore excluding Tesla's vision-only systems. In response to questions about how much its MT1 pickup can tow, Telo published images this week of an MT1 pre-production prototype towing a Pebble Flow RV weighing 5,800 pounds. BYD confirmed this week that orders for its brand new Denza Z EV hypercar are, quote, booming. 1,000 pre-orders have been received for the 6-figure EV in just 5 days. Volkswagen has officially launched a new entry-level variant to its ID Polo. Fitted with a 37-kilowatt-hour LFP battery pack, it will go on sale in Europe from €24,995. Hyundai has officially cut $6,300 off the sticker price of its range-topping IONIQ 5N for the US market. For the new model year, the car gets NACS as standard, plus updated N-Drift optimizer with 10 stages to pick from. Years after it debuted its Lanzador 2+2 electric Grand Tourer as a concept, Lamborghini has yet again pushed back its EV plans, stating EV tech isn't mature enough for the brand. It will not produce an EV until after 2030. Automotive News cited sources at Volvo this week that claim the Swedish brand is planning on bringing a new electric sedan and wagon to the US. Volvo declined to comment on the rumours. After its official UK importer, Innovation Automotive ceased operations. Chinese brand Skywell has suspended sales in the UK. There are currently 127 Skywell EVs registered on UK roads. GridServe has opened its largest electric vehicle forecourt in the UK at Markham Vale. It features shops, amenities and 39 ultra-rapid charging stalls capable of charging rates of up to 400 kilowatts each. Volvo has begun deliveries of its EX60 crossover SUV in Europe. Built in Sweden, the model is offered with a choice of 3 different drivetrain and battery pack pairings. Aptera has kept true to its promise of offering owners easy service options by announcing a partnership with RePowered, a US nationwide network of certified repair shops with more than 4,300 locations. Elon Musk, once a supporter of clean energy, has used his impossible wealth to buy a $1 billion gas and diesel turbine company with more than 1 gigawatts of fossil-fueled energy generation capability simply to provide power to his AI and data centres. Geely has officially priced its EX2 electric car in the UK from £20,990 sterling on the road, offering up to 214 miles, 344 kilometres of WLTP range. It's one of the cheapest EVs on the UK market today. A Unilever distribution centre in Sydney, Australia, has officially welcomed a Volvo FH Electric truck to its fleet to deliver goods in locations around the Sydney metro area. It's the first FH Electric to enter service in the region. As a way to celebrate 25 years of the Hummer nameplate outside of the military, GMC has announced a Hummer EV Icon limited run, complete with vibrantly yellow paint. Kia has launched the Syros EV SUV in India. Based on the same K1 platform as the ICE version of the Syros, it offers a choice of 42 kWh or 51.4 kWh battery pack. Carla, a used EV specialist in Sweden, has published details of nearly 10,000 battery tests carried out on Tesla Model 3 batteries. It shows that cars with LFP batteries have a 93.9% average battery health after 62,000 miles, better than any other battery type. The German government is proposing a new set of regulations that will charge e-scooter companies penalties for any accidents caused by their rental customers. It's an attempt to close a legal loophole over who is liable for damages. Washington County in Oregon has announced a new program designed to give citizens a way to report reckless e-bike and e-scooter use in the region in the form of a new online reporting tool. An Indian startup by the name of Vimag Labs has secured a 5th patent for a new electric motor design that uses no rare earth magnets. The latest patent is for a virtual magnet synchronous motor. German newspaper Bild claimed this week that the Volkswagen ID.5, Audi Q6 e-tron Sportback, Q5 Sportback and Porsche Taycan are all going to be cancelled at the end of their production runs. Volkswagen Group has not confirmed the reporting. VinFast has introduced the VF2 electric car in its home market of Vietnam, a premium variant of the already in production Minio Green Service mobility vehicle. It's designed for round town duties. The Porsche Macan is about to officially become an EV-only model, at least for a short while. The last ICE Macan will roll off the line next week, with a new ICE variant expected in 2028. Yamaha has launched the Aerox E in India. It's a 125cc equivalent underbone scooter. It features a twin removable battery pack compatible with battery swapping and off-bike charging. Sales data from Australia shows that last month all 7 of Australia's best-selling EVs were made in China, including the Tesla Model Y and Model 3. Guatemala is planning on purchasing 300 new electric buses over the next few months, with a goal of potentially building its own local assembly facility for further fleet electrification. Following its official UK debut at the Goodwood Festival of Speed last week, Hyundai says interest in its IONIQ 3 is soaring, thanks in part to its headline £25,000 starting price. Clean Motion has confirmed that it has integrated battery swap technology into its EVIG solar-charged electric vehicle. It's delivering vehicles to Stockholm Local Transition to partake in a validation program. Moya has officially started its autonomous ride-pooling program in Hamburg, Germany. The trial program is part of the Alike project funded by the German government. The UNECE has approved the world's first global framework that legally enables fully autonomous driving systems. It establishes a framework of international safety requirements. Sales data from June shows that EVs have overtaken petrol vehicles in Austria for the first time. Overall, 65% of all vehicles sold in June were plug-in models, compared with 31% for ICE. Dublin International Airport has invested €17 million in Ireland's first pantograph charging system for electric buses. The system will help charge airport shuttle buses while they load and unload passengers. Mercedes-Benz has expanded its Kecskemét plant in Hungary as it begins series production of its all-new C-Class EV. With 5,000 employees at the plant, it's the region's largest employer. California has officially kicked off its rebate program. Designed to fill the gap left by the end of federal tax credits for EVs, it offers instant rebates for first-time buyers with emphasis on more affordable models, both new and used. More than a year after the company that made it declared bankruptcy, Fisker Ocean owners are poised to gain access to hands-free driving thanks to Comma AI, which is working to develop an out-of-the-box solution using its Comma 4 system. And finally, for the news shorts, Peugeot has debuted a new concept car called the Peugeot E5008 Dog Edition, complete with plenty of extras to make your favourite four-legged friend comfortable on the road. And those are your news shorts. There will be more next week. Our final two stories are coming right up, but first, a quick word of thanks. I mentioned in last week's show, but at the start of June, my other half lost her job of 11 years to corporate restructuring, and I told you that I was worried about the channel's future. But since then, we've seen an outpouring of support from all of you, both financial, emotional, and more, keeping this channel afloat in a really difficult time. I don't have enough words to express my gratitude, but we went from worrying about next month to feeling secure through until next year. My beloved is also getting interviews right now, so fingers crossed we'll get some good news very soon. And while the crisis is over for now, we'd still love your support. Right now, TE is paying its usual bills, plus keeping a roof over my head, so if you'd like to help, please consider supporting us on Patreon, YouTube, or by sending us donations at Ko-fi or through our mailing address. Sharing our content and engaging with us online also helps. And if you're in the US and looking for a way to become more energy independent, you can also support the show by using our longtime channel sponsor, Energy Sage. It's a great way to get trustworthy, verified solar experts, whether that's for solar panels, getting a heat pump, or for those who rent, a community solar program membership. And it was Energy Sage who I used many years ago when we put solar panels on the roof of our house. And wouldn't you know it, our panels are still churning out electrons every day. So it's well worth it as the cost of utility provided power keeps rising. However you support us, thank you. You really do rock, and we wouldn't be here at all without you. And now it's time for our final two stories. It's no secret that the world's fossil fuel supply is feeling the pinch as the US war in Iran rumbles on, and we're already seeing figures showing that more people are buying electric as a result. But that doesn't mean that automakers and fuel companies are giving up on combustion engines. This week, Toyota Motor Europe, BMW Group, Bosch and Repsol announced a new 6-month pilot program in Spain that will demonstrate, and I quote, the real-world potential of vehicles running exclusively on eligible fuels, end quote. What does that translate to? Well, liquid combustible fuels, renewable gasoline, which claims significant emission reductions compared to fossil fuels, though it's still not zero carbon. Of course, it's also worth noting that these fuels rely on combustion, generate emissions, and unlike EVs, require you to visit a filling station to fill up. I wonder why they're so hell-bent on promoting this over EVs, eh? And finally, one of the big stories that we've been tracking for the entirety of this year has been the global grid transition away from fossil fuels and towards renewable forms of electricity. And while there are some pretty big flies in the ointment of that transition, even though they're having a minimal impact compared to all the gains, it's always good to see renewables are absolutely spanking fossil fuel electricity when it comes to generation. And this week we got a new one. In June, solar became the largest generator of electricity in the EU for only the third time on record, but it accounted for 25% of the bloc's monthly power generation, a record 52 terawatt hours. And while this peak is seasonal, driven by record summer heat and long daylight hours, it's still very much worth celebrating. Even in the depth of winter, solar is now contributing 5% of the grid's total power generation in Europe, and renewables are, en masse, growing and dominating other generation methods. The US president might be obsessed with coal, but the European Union has finally done what it should have done years ago. Kept it in the ground. And on that note, we are done for today's show. But first, a massive thank you to the Electric Vehicle Association for sponsoring us. The EVA has been around since 1967 and is firmly committed to a cleaner, greener future for everyone. Join the EVA today, become an EV educator, and find ways to accelerate your transition to electric. If you haven't made the switch yet, head over to myeva.org for more info. And thanks as well go to CCAN Action Fund. You can still get your tickets. Tickets are just $200, only 10,000 are being sold, and each ticket gives you 3 chances to win a brand new EV. But you've only got 2 weeks left, so don't hang about. Grab your ticket today at evraffle.org. And thanks as well go to Energy Sage. Follow the link below to start planning your energy independent future today. And of course, thank you. If you're able, please consider supporting us using one of the methods I mentioned earlier in the show. Supporting us can also mean sharing our content, joining our Fluxer or Discord communities, promoting us on social media, or using our affiliate links, all of which are listed below. And if you are new to the channel, hi, please give us a sub, either on YouTube or wherever you saw this, which might have been PeerTube. Finally, you matter. You're important. And I am so very glad that you are here watching this show. I know the rest of the team are similarly grateful. I know that many people are struggling right now for a whole host of different reasons. And a month ago, that was me. I finish every week with this segment because I want everyone to know that not only does it get better, but it's important to hear the impact that you are making on the world. And I think it's important to make sure that everyone does know what their impact is, especially at this point in history. The news headlines are scary, infuriating, and honestly, most of the time it is now feeling like we are the ones in the mirror universe, but all hope is not lost because a cleaner, greener, safer, smarter and more equitable world has to be rooted in justice, fairness and a shared goal for all. And that can only happen when we all work together. You being here today is that first step on a very important journey. So until next time, be your authentic self. Whoever you are, wherever you are, and whoever you love, you are all part of this amazing, wonderful journey that we are all on together. As always, keep evolving.